What's up, guys? TCG here. Welcome back. Today we have the Banlist prediction video. Two YCACs have just finished. I think this has been a great format with so much diversity, as we saw from the deck breakdown in the top cut and the events in general. All the top tier decks have now got a reprint. They're now budget. Everyone has access to whatever they need, so they can play whatever they want. And that proves that the format is diverse, because if we had something like a tier 0 deck, then everybody would buy it and they would play that. So we've got diversity in the top 32, we got diversity in the winning breakdown. As we saw, one YCS was won by Lunalight Orcust, the other one was won by Grandmazu OTK with Dangers. But it's time to talk about what Konami is going to do, most probably during the next list, which we are going to get around the midst of October. But there's also a good chance that Konami might wait for YCS London, and they will drop the ban list after that, so that they don't confuse players and make them run around not knowing what to play. So let's start with the banned cards. The one card that I think is going to get banned for sure is Nightmare Mermaid. Now, the reason for that is because we've seen so many Orcust variants run around. The Lunalight deck that I won, of course, had Orcust in it. It was playing against Cyber Dragons in the final, which also had Orcust in it. We saw a lot of pure versions. Lunalight Orcust was one of the most represented decks, which I never saw coming. And I think Mermaid makes the format. It gives power to a lot of road decks, but you see the same combo from every single deck. And Konami let it go through during the previous ban list because Dark Neostorm was new, so they wanted to make Dingirsusi play. So that's why they left Mermaid during the previous ban list. But now I think it's time for her to go. The OCG already banned Mermaid, so I think it's the perfect time for Mermaid to get banned. I think we've have the same decks for such a long time now. It's about time for Konami to give us something new, even if it's something like tier 1.1 or 0.5. They need to give us a new deck so that they can sell their new products. So I think they will limit the power level of all the tier 1 decks right now. Now I have two more banned cards, which I am not sure Konami is going to do for two reasons. And I'm talking about LP and Peace Team. There's also the Pain route, but I'll explain why I prefer this route. So first of all, in Chaos Impact, we get Dragon Link support. We get the new dragon that I don't remember its name, but it's the one that you tribute one and you search. It can search the mini Chaos Dragons, which both got limited. And also, we didn't see any Dragon Link being played. The deck was so hyped, but it pretty much was covered by the better combo decks. And the second reason that I think they might not touch the Guard Dragons is because of the new promo cards. The format proved that the Dragon Link or the Guard Dragon decks cannot play around Nibiru and Dark Ruler no more. So people opted to play Pure Thunder instead, which is more resilient. They played Orcust, which have ways of dealing with both Dark Ruler no more and Nibiru. They pretty much don't get hurt by Dark Ruler no more. And with cards like Appaloosa or Ibli, they can pretty much make your opponent not being able to use their Nibiru. So that's why I think Guard Dragons are in a bit of a weird spot right now. But I still think they can facilitate degenerate combos. And now I'm going to talk why I think LP and Pisti both getting banned is much, much better than Pain getting banned. With Pain getting banned, yes, you take away the free negate that they can bring out on the field. But leaving LP and Pisti together, you can facilitate so many utility cards from the main deck and then bring them back. And we still have Red Zarkan's Metal, like the we can do that. You can do so many crazy combos. And with Scaldred, you can draw cards, you can get whatever you want. So I don't think these two cards, even if we don't get a free negate anymore out of these, I think the only reason Pain can use his effect is because of LP and Pisti. Pain's arrows are very awkward, and without the arrows pointing left and right by LP and Pisti, I don't think it's very realistic that Pain can use his effect consistently if he's on his own. So yeah, I think Konami should check out this scenario as well if they want. Because yeah, you can not summon the extra negate from the extra deck, but for example, you can just bring out a Goliath from the deck with LP, and you've pretty much locked out your opponent's extra deck. So that's an option too if you want to bring out a negate with the guard dragons without having Hunger Pain. So yeah, I'm not sure what Konami is going to do with this part of the list, but that's my opinion. Now for the limited section, I'll start with Mystic Mine. For some reason, Konami doesn't want to ban this card. Last list, they didn't touch it, they touched Metaverse instead, which didn't do that much. It means some decks that were running Mystic Mine, like Sky Striker, as a way to stall, um, pretty much tended away from it and went for their pure version. But the Mine stall burn decks, we saw some topped. Demise of a Land is still a thing, so I don't think Metaverse going to want it all that much. But Konami again doesn't want to ban it. They didn't ban it in the OCG either, so I think limited is okay because you have even less chances of seeing it. And if your opponent deals with this one Mystic Mine, they're not going to have to deal with a second one. So your win condition, if that's your only win condition, which most likely it is if you're playing such a deck, then you're pretty much going to lose if you get a Cosmic Cyclone or something. Now, next we have Scaldred. I'm a strong believer that Scaldred should get banned, but it gets a reprint in Dual Devastator. In the OCG, did not get banned. They limited it. They limited it preemptively in the OCG. It was a good thing because they got dangers, and instead of limiting Slash Draw like they did in the TCG, which was completely ridiculous, and yeah, they limited Scaldred, which was the problem. Of course, that was a problem. Slash Draw was one of the 1,000 FTKs you could do with a Danger Scalder at the beginning of the end, that deck. So yeah, Scaldred is still a very powerful card, but it starts getting degenerate once you get into more copies, drawing more cards, special summoning more from the hand, and not being once per turn. I don't know why. So yeah, at least limit it so that when you use the first one, then that's pretty much the extent of your plays, and you are not going to see half of your deck. Next up, we have Engage. Sky Striker seriously been a tier 1 deck for more than 1.5 years now. They've hit um, 3 cards. Yeah, Drones, Multi-Roll, and Kagari. And the deck is still amazing. It has ways to adapt to any format, and it has been around for so long. Konami should not leave decks in the meta for such a long time. It has won so many events by now. I think there are many ways to hit it, but the reason I'm going with the Engage hit is because Engage is a splashable card, and if you limit the card like Widow Anchor, then you're going to see 3 Engage and 1 Drones in so many decks, and that's also something Konami doesn't like. They've hit generic cards in the past, like Brilliant Fusion. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Engage is going to get limited. Not banned. I don't think it's going to get banned. I'm not sure the deck will be dead if Engage gets limited, but you limit its consistency by a lot, and also you cannot set that one Engage with multi-roll. Because if it gets banished, then you lose so much power. And the notorious draw Engage off of Engage is not possible with only one Engage, so there is that too. And the last card that I think should get limited is Thunder Dragon Colossus. The pure Thunder Dragon version, this format proved to be so much better than the Danger Thunder. Not only did it get a big hit during the previous list with limiting the 2 baby no dragon rulers, the baby Chaos Dragons, but also the promo cards from the Megatins made it so this deck was a much more optimal way to play because you're not going to get completely obliterated by any Biru. And yeah, but that's also a deck that's been around for such a long time now. Only second to Sky Strikers. Soul Fusion has been like released. I don't remember exactly how much time has it been, but it's been a long time. And the problem with Thunder Dragons is that it's not an unfair deck in any way, but when your deck relies on searching, Colossus is a card that can completely shut down your deck and you won't be able to play. So at least by limiting Colossus, if you have the out for that one Colossus for like an Impermanence or a Widow Anchor or Forbidden Chalice, whatever, then you can play. You don't have to deal with a second or a third one. That's when it becomes impossible to completely lock down all 3 Colossus. So you can start searching and playing your deck. So I think that's the most realistic way of hitting the deck. Hawk could get limited too, but I don't think that's a very good approach. Now let's go to the semi-limited. Now I will say one thing that these two decks I'm going to mention in the semi-limited list are most probably not going to get touched. But these are really good sleeper decks, and if they're left untouched and everything else gets hit, then I'm pretty sure these two are going to be the decks we're going to be seeing for the majority of the format. So by just hitting them a little bit, you you pretty much balance the format. You don't like Konami did it last time with Altergeists. They hit multi-figure to one without being a super dominant deck, but they knew that if they left multi-figure to three with those hits, then Altergeist would be very powerful. So yeah, the first card I'm going to discuss is Salaman Great Sunlight Wolf. Now Sunlight Wolf, if the deck was very dominant this format, could easily go to one. But the deck didn't do that much. We saw like very few tops in the YCSs. It did win Worlds, but that was a very completely different format. They had three circles. Other decks were very crippled, so I'm not counting that. So yeah, with two wolves, the starting combo is completely the same. Nothing changes. It's the late game that makes you think more about your plays, because if you want to reincarnate Link your wolf, then you have to put the one in the grave back with Jack Jaguar. So if your Jack Jaguar gets stopped, then you lose a lot of power in the deck because you won't be able to recycle your spells and traps this way. And it makes you more reluctant on how you reincarnate Link Summon every turn. So it's not a great hit, but it's another slap in the wrist, so you can pretty much be safe that Salamangreats are not going to dominate the format. And the second card is Personal Spoofing. Yeah, I know Altergeists don't deserve to get hit once again, but they did get hit last time. Multifaker did not need to go to one back then, and this doesn't need to happen now. But I'm pretty sure that it's a smart move. The OCG has Spoofing to two as well. Spoofing is not the most important card of the deck, but again, this is a consistency hit. And once you start reusing your spoofing over and over and over again, that's when Altergeist becomes. It feels like an unfair deck once it goes through all these cards. So that's why I think they should think about this route with a semi-limited option, because again, these are the two decks that are not. I don't think they're in the tier 1 right now, more like tier 1.5. So they don't deserve to get hit as much as the other decks, but still, these are pretty decent options for Konami to think about if they want to balance the format or introduce a new tier 1 deck. Now for the unlimited cards, again, the unlimited section usually is irrelevant. Solemn Judgment proved me wrong that last time because Super Poly and Solemn Judgment going to 3 was huge, but I'm not going to talk about generic cards, I'm going to talk about archetype specific cards, and I'm going to mention only the ones that they might have an impact on their respective decks. So I'll start with Royal Tribute. Royal Tribute did go to 2 last ban list. It can easily go to 3. I think the deck is way past its prime. Some decks don't even rely on their hand having many monsters. Some other monsters, when discarded, like if you're playing against dangers, are going to get all their effects. So that would have backfired. So yeah, it's an unsearchable card. I think Gravekeepers need a little bit more. They did get support recently, so I don't think it's completely illogical to put Royal Tribute back to 3. The next card, El Shadow Construct. I mentioned this last time, we're getting a new structure deck someday, so I'm pretty sure eventually Construct is going back to 3. So, yep, I pretty much don't have anything else to say about that. Shadows have now become an engine, either by using Instant Fusion or Shadow Fusion, and yeah, Winda is the only one sync play. Construct doesn't do much anymore, so I think she can easily go to 3. And the last card is Insector Dragonfly. From 2 to 3, we've seen some combos with Insectors. They can sum the board very easily because they don't have hard ones per turn effects. But again, they don't do anything. They did get a link, but that didn't do a lot. So yeah, since Hornet went back to 3, I'm pretty sure Dragonfly going to 3 won't do much. It might give the deck a little bit more power, which it needs desperately. So yeah, I think all the other cards going to 3 would. I don't remember any specific card right now that could go to 3 and would have an impact, but I'm pretty sure these 3 decks could potentially do something if they had all their tools at their disposal. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Leave us your thoughts in the comments below, what you think Konami is going to do, and we're going to find out really soon. So, thank you for watching. See you next time.